Welcome to Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and we have a very special guest who's going to be speaking with us this evening. So make sure you tell everyone at home Beyond Focus TV is on. We'll be coming up right after this. Welcome back. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, and we are on Beyond Focus TV. I have a very special guest as promised. Her name is Narcisse. She's running for the 46th District Council, has so much going on. She's an entrepreneur, she's a mother, hardworking lady, and definitely a community activist. Mercedes, welcome to Beyond Focus TV.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have someone of your caliber on the program with us this evening. And of course, you're running for the 46th District. But before we get to that, give us some background on yourself.
Well, I am a registered nurse for over 23 years. I've been in business for the past 24 years. Right now, for the past 12 years, I have a medical and surgical supply in the district. I live in the district for over 24 years. I have been served in all capacity, both politically and community active, very active in my district. And I have 4 beautiful children, and I adopted one 3 years ago. And I'm very proud, and that's my excitement. Working hard for my district and getting folks engaged in the democratic process in the district. For years I've been doing that, and now I'm running for city council for the 46th district.
So for you, what does it mean to really decide to want to run and represent the 46th district?
To tell you honestly, at first I didn't want to run for office. I was more like a civic person. I like to do things for my community. I'm a servant. I love to serve, doing different activities. And I remember the first thing that started back in 1992, 1993, we had problem in Narcisse where there was a division in different colors. Real estate was playing, their little game as usual.
Of course.
So that prompt me to start an organization to show that we can live together peacefully. And I started Narcisse by choice. And ever since, I said, okay, no, in order to live in this community, we have to be together. We have to work together. So I continue, doing all the work that I enjoy doing, which is getting people engaged in different things, like on community board when they need a license or they want to build a building, or, all those knowledge that I acquire over the years. I finally gonna put all of them to a greater level.
Absolutely.
And making work for the district, for the people in my district, and serve.
That is amazing, and truly you're working so hard for the community, and it's been quite some time because you do live in the district, so you know all about the 46th district. And for those at home who don't know where the 46th district represents, why don't you share that with us?
That's Narcisse area, definitely. I'm in Flatlands, Old Mill Basin, Bergen Beach area, and then passing by Bergen, you have Georgetown. Little different section, different little name, but the biggest zip code is 11236, 11234, 11229. If you live in that area, you are in the 46th district.
All right, so Ralph Avenue.
And if you're not so sure too, Ralph Avenue area, and it's some part of East Flatbush, believe it or not, by Avenue I, 51st, when you go in near Utica.
Yes,
it's still part of the district. 56, 54, 55th. So if you're not so sure by H and I and J, so you are part of the district. And if you're not so sure, you just call us and 718-927-9000, and we'll tell you where exactly you're located, and if you are part of the 46, if you have any question mark on that.
That is amazing. One of the things that I'm sitting here just admiring you, because 4 children, working full time, how did you kind of segue into transitioning the motherhood and combining this all together to venture into politics?
It's fun for me. Whatever I do in life, I make my children to be part of it. We work together. I mean, I tell them, and they're always part of everything I do. Like, even, like, if I do Christmas party for the kids, which I hold every year on Avenue L. I'm president of Avenue L Merchant Association, so I will make them part of it. I'm doing any health fair. I make them part of it. So serving is part of it. I learned that from my grandmother. So I'm passing on to them. And serving, being a great politician, you represent people, it's not yourself. Then you have to work. You have to do things to change people's lives. In terms of education, like when the parents doesn't know where to access certain things. So it's always my pleasure to lead you, because I have parents along the way that I always want to know how my child can get to this specialized high school, to this place.
Yes.
So I have been there, done it for my own children, and I have to understand the process. Because a lot of parents find out when the test is given after the fact. And then some of them send the children to take the test without preparing them. So all those things that you learn along the way. Now we have to make our children competitive in the area of math, science, technology, so they can be competitive with the rest of the world. We cannot live that way and passing by. And our kids, those that are not going to be a doctor or engineer, we have to focus on skill work. And those are the things that we need to do to make that transition, because once you educated, you can take care of yourself. That's me as a parent. That's the way I see it too. And in the community, it is imperative more than ever to look at different area where we can emphasize, like for environmental. We've been having problem with water, with that. So if we can prepare that and intertwine that with educational tools as well, because we live by the creek in Canarsie, we can use that area as a teaching tools as well. And when you're looking at green job, you can technology incorporate with that. That's education and well as job opportunity for your district. And I'm very passionate about those things. I've been in business for 23 years. Job opportunity is a big thing, and then all those can incorporate to a better future, and not only for the district, for Brooklyn in general and the rest of the world. You can learn from us, because we can produce, and if we organize enough, we can do so much. And using the resources that we already have, like we have retiree. Some people already retired. You can use those and put that to work, and volunteer and do certain things. And you have people using. Our children are using technology. You have Apple computer. You have certain things. You can have the statistic, and then find out how you can bring those folks to invest back. Let's say you want a laptop. You want computer for the kids in school. Maybe if the city don't have all the resources, we can have those folks that taking money from our district to invest back. There's a lot of things we can do as a community. Passing legislation is very important. We're definitely going to pass legislation that will make sense for the district, but as well coming back and work in your district. That's the key for me.
Well, Mercedes, hold that thought. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. You are watching Beyond Focus TV, and thank you so much for joining us. I've got my lovely guest, Mercedes Narcisse, who, of course, as you watched in the first part of the program, she is running for the 46th District Council. Definitely hope that she wins and brings forth all these great things for everybody in her district. But Mercedes, I wanted to touch upon some of the challenges. Because we all know this is so challenging on numerous levels. And before we even get to that, Hurricane Sandy, Canarsie was hit.
Big time.
Tell us about how that made it maybe easier, or even potentially harder for you running.
I would not say easier or harder, but it's the fact that I've been serving the district. On the day that Sandy hit us, my house was underwater. And one of the things that I have learned from that process is being a servant is a great thing, because you really touch people's lives and they know they get called on you. And immediately after the next day on Tuesday, I had to be on the street to access things for the community in terms of bringing water, diapers, because simple things like we take for granted, like a mother that don't have no diapers to put on a baby, that's a big deal. So we had to immediately access all those, and food and water and open to churches, because what I did is using the organization that's already there, because they know the people that really need. So I was able to go around and distributing things to all the churches within the area.
So describe the moment when you first came out that very day, your own house. And she said her own home was practically underwater. You come outside on the street, it looked like a war zone in certain parts.
You could not believe it. Actually, we're all walking like zombies, because we don't know what's going on. We're scared. Everybody afraid what's going to happen. And you worried about your neighbors. Now you had to put in mind, who can I get out of their home? Who's older? Who's this? And there's so much going on. And I thank God that night, it could have been anything. Like, we could have been just, fatal to the point that people could have died that night.
Yes.
But thank God we did not have any death in the area, which is a great thing. But we'll never forget that. Now it is time for action, to address the issues and concern that we're facing by the water, because the creek, now they're talking about raising the houses and all these things, which I don't think that's the approach, because the city have to take some responsibility, because it's a creek. We're not living on the ocean side. So reinforcing the having seawall and doing reinforcement for the marshland and stuff like that. Those are the first priority we have to give to this to the creek, because we don't want the creek to overflow and the surge to come in people's home again. So those are the things that we need to strategize, because when money come down the pipeline, like, everybody happy, but it's where the money gonna be spent, because you have a lot of folks in Canarsie that really cannot afford to even fix their home right now as we speak.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to touch
upon.
So
that's very challenging to me right now. And what I intend to do is to work closely with the federal level as well as the state and all kind of level of government, which I have over the years privileged to work with all kind of government level, all the level, and I have relationship where we can work to really make things happen in the district. And that's what I promise. A lot of people say, okay, you running for office. There's a difference between me and a lot of elected officials. A lot of elected officials just run for office just to be in office. But for me, I'm bringing something different than most, because I really do care for my community. I really been working for my community, and I don't see people as just take people for granted. I'm asking the voters right now, just this is an opportunity, this is a moment to vote for someone that will represent you and that will do the work, not just to talk the talk, because I've been doing it all my years, and I even travel overseas to Haiti to provide health for the past. I'm a nurse for 23 years. That's my passion.
Medical supplies, of course.
So I've been serving, and there's a great difference between a lot of people that have been in office in the past, or that ask for the vote and they just take the vote and really don't service the community. But my thing is clear. I've been providing service. I've been in the community, and the difference is clear between me and anybody else. I hope nobody comparing people, but if my record stands for itself, because I have done whatever it takes, whether to serving on community board or whether to be a president of Avenue L Merchant Association and provide the care and do the job, whether to be a part of Lions Club, whatever, name it, whatever the organization that doing the right thing and forming Canarsie by Choice back in 1992, 1993, when really we were having problem in the district. They burned a house in 1991 in Canarsie area. So those are the things that I've been working the district, and
what's great, it's almost like you have the honorary title.
I don't want to take that.
You're doing it right now. You're doing the work.
Yes.
You're doing the work, which is the most amazing thing, because I think people could definitely see the results of what you're doing.
and I'm very passionate, especially when it comes to children. I really have a special care for how we're going to make a better future, how we can take our children from point A to point, not even B, to Z, to make sure they can provide for themselves. Yeah, and job opportunity, and making sure our people are not taken for granted. And when a project comes to the area, we want to know what kind of job we're getting. Are we talking about quality job, or are we talking about the minimum wage? We want our folks to be in 1% as well. Some of the folks that are working, they deserve to have a high paying job too. And we don't want to have all that. We're talking about, yes, we are part of 99, but sometimes when there is a high money giving, like you have a lot of our graduates that have master's degree, that have a PhD, and when they finish, they cannot get the job opportunity in their own environment, in their own community. They're dead. So we need to create, we're not saying like, okay, I want to be 1%. No, not that, but we need to maintain the fairness across the board. Let's put it that way, because there's too many people that saying like, okay, I'm the 1%, and then what happened to the 99%? We want people to be a little more balanced, having less than 1% and more in the whole pat where everybody really getting a fair share of our community. That's what I'm pushing. Yes.
Well said. How does it make you feel when people come up and thank you for your work and recognize your work?
I'm blessed to the point that I don't want to take things to my head. I rather be the person that do the work and not being like, I'm me, this is me, look at me, and I'm doing all that. So that's why it's always difficult for me to talk about what I do. But I appreciate people acknowledge the work, because the more people, what I would like to see, in all seriousness, to see more younger folks get involved in politics and involved in the process. But the only way to do that is September 10th. Because right now, we finished the petition, and I thank you so much for all my supporters out there, all the people in the community that helped me get to that obstacle. We went to 2 phases already. The first one, that was with districting, and all the folks that support and believe in that it was possible for us to get the majority in the district, which is 54% black. And in that 54% majority are Haitians. So I thank them for taking me to that second step, which is the second step was the petition. It was struggle, and it's not declared yet, but we know we made it to the ballot because we gave about 5 times of what was required. And not only that, they were pre-printed where it was your home, your address, your name. All you have to do is to sign it. Wow. So we always structured, and we do everything with integrity, and which is something very important to me. I don't do things just to do things. There is always a structure you need to follow, and I thank God for people that work with me, like Dr. Zolima Blair, Michael, that put their time, and all the volunteer and all the staff in the office that really put hard work, and all the volunteer, all the clergy. And I thank God, because they have a lot of clergy, and especially the Haitian clergy, that really put their time and help. The clergy has been greatest, and I like that.
Hold that thought. We're going to thank them. We're going to get to all of that. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. I'm Lydia Patel. You are watching Beyond Focus TV, and my guest this evening, of course, is none other than Mercedes Narcisse, running for the 46th District Council. She made it to the ballot. You heard it in the last segment. If you're now tuning in, she made it. We had all the votes. It was a big process to get here.
Big process.
Tell us, recap, if you're now tuning in.
Okay. It's a long process, but thank God for all the people that participate, all the volunteers. We still need volunteers. Remember, we have to continue the work. Doing the petition is one thing, but right now we have to get those folks out. Without the folks coming out, we cannot get the last step, which is September 10th, for people to vote. So we need volunteer, we need the support, and everyone that listening, you can volunteer. We want you to, we would love you to come by, and we are on 9712 Flatlands Avenue, which is right across from Holy Family, and our number is 718-927-9000. We welcome you, 900. We want you to come. We love you. We need the support. Without that support, we cannot make the change that we're talking about. There's so many things that are going wrong in our community. We talk about it. We get upset. Like Trayvon Martin, as a mother myself, sitting here, knowing what took place. I'm saddened by the whole story or report or I don't know what to say. It's just like they said, it's done, it's over. But
it's never done. It's never
just
over.
To me, when you have black men in America, you know, like myself, I have 3. I know how difficult. I understand how difficult it would be for parents to hear that. But the only way we can make the changes, we have to continue having people elected in your area. It cannot be the President Obama and think that is a done deal. No, we need to elect people to represent us in all aspects. And when things like that happen, we can stand and say, no, it's not going to happen. And people will know too, because once they see people represent really the way they're supposed to represent, all those things will decrease little by little. We cannot stand by and say, we have President Obama. No, we have to do more than that.
No, it starts on a small, it starts in your own backyard.
That's
it starts in your community.
That's
so how could they get involved in the voting process? Let's say somebody's never voted. This is their first time. They want to actually take part in this. What would be the first step to receive a ballot?
Okay, if you register, you have to make sure you're a registered voter. If you're not so sure, you can call us. We have the form in our office. We'll be more than happy to walk you through the process. And second, once you're a registered voter, you will receive Board of Election will send you your form and tell you exactly where you're going to vote. And even there too, if you're not so sure, you can call our office. We'll be more than happy to direct you. But the most important things, you will know where to go, and you just walk to there and you give your name and they will tell you how to vote. And then don't forget Mercedes Narcisse, the car, the only nice car that every Haitian loves. So I'm waiting.
I think Trini's like it too. We like them too.
And we do need, yes, everybody loves Mercedes. I think in Africa that's the nicest car around, right? So I really, in all seriousness, it's important. And I know my folks have tendency, which myself, sometimes we take it for granted, we all vote Democratic. We just go down the line. You cannot do that because it's a primary. If you want to vote for Mercedes Narcisse, you just have to, on the city council, you only have to check Mercedes Narcisse. Do not just check all the boxes.
Right, that's very important,
very important. When you get to the poll, if you're not so sure where you're going, before you even go to get upset, call us. We'll make sure we let you know. And if you're home, you cannot get out, you call us too. We'll pick you up. Or if you're very sick, you cannot get out at all, we'll do absentee ballot with you. We'll give you the form, and then we do the process with you. And there is no reason that you need us, you don't want to call us. Call us. We want to vote. We want you to vote. You're a citizen. You don't have never voted before. We have the form for you. We want you to vote because without your help, we cannot get there. I will not be the next city council. I know a lot of people are excited for me. They call on the radio. They're calling and they want me to represent. I love it. I love the idea. I love the trust. And I promise, like I never really promise. That's one thing I try to stay away from.
Yes.
But this time, I know I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I usually, because when you said promise, you know how your little kids want you to promise, and then you say, oh, I don't want to promise. But this time I'm going to tell you, in all seriousness, I'm ready to work for you, for the community, and I'm really excited about this opportunity because I can see how my community support me through the process, and I want to continue to make it a positive and making the ballot is one thing, but now we have to get out to vote September, which is a Tuesday. Whether it rain, whatever it is, you have to come out. And if you need a ride, we'll be more than happy. We'll be more than happy to take you to the poll. But I will work hard. I work hard before. I work even harder to the max for you. And I want to hear from you. I want the idea, because everybody think like they know it all. For me, I'm one of the person that don't know it all. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the community to tell me how the best way we can tackle whatever the things that they're facing.
Well, Mercedes, want to let everybody at home know basically what would be the main things you're bringing to the table. We elect you.
The main thing I bring to the table are my experiences. If you think about it, I'm a registered nurse for 23 years. I am a business owner for the past 24. I even from my experience of being a parent myself, going to the channel of making sure my kids get the best education in New York City, which I'm blessed to be part of the process. It's all those things I'm bringing. And I'm bringing the human approach to it. Not only doing it, but care enough to do it to the max. And I've been called a perfectionist. That's one of the situations I enjoy being a perfectionist, because when I get something done, I get it done fully. And with me and my opponent, what is going to bring to you? So myself is just going and make it work for us in terms of job opportunity, job creation, in terms of preventive care, because as a nurse, preventive care is the best way to go, because it's good for the family, it's cost effective for the city. And we need to focus more on that. And I have done that. I bring mammogram in my area to make sure we do tests for the female, and doing health fair all the time. So those are all the things that is quality of life that I'm promising and delivering too. I've been delivering them. Now it's at a greater level where you have a budget to work with. I didn't have a budget. I make the budget, and I push and I push. So just imagine I have a budget to work with. Education, make our children competitive in all aspects. And that's what
Mercedes, I'm bringing. Before we let you go, it's been such an engaging program. Where can we get in contact with you? Give us the phone number and that website once again.
Yes, it's Mercedes for Council is www.mercedesforcouncil.us or .com. And at Gmail is Mercedes for Council at Gmail. That's our email. Gmail, sorry. And we have 9712 Flatlands Avenue. That's our address, right across from Holy Family. You cannot miss it. You will see the picture. You will see Mercedes Narcisse on our awning. And the phone number is 718-927-9000. That's where we are. We are welcome you. And on coming next week, we're gonna have where we appreciate our folks.
All right.
To appreciate, because I love to appreciate my folks when they help me out. We there.
Well, Mercedes Narcisse, thank you so much for joining us. We'll definitely have you back on the program again, because she's no stranger to Beyond Focus TV, and we are hoping that September 10th, you heard the message, come out, vote, get your information. I'm Lydia Patel. It's been such a wonderful program. We'll see you next week on another episode of Beyond Focus TV.